From no.
Are you okay?
So let's start this off here, guys. We are gonna start a podcast series where we go through our weathered tour journal and just like break down how the tours went. Just go down memory lane.
Kind of like date by date, right?
Date by date, yeah.
Date by date.
Because I think when you, at least for me, when I look at the journal and I read an individual date, like I can remember a lot from that day because, you know, there's just a lot there.
I usually think I can remember a lot, and then I realize most of what I remember never happened on that date. So I rely on the tour journal notes and you guys. So
that's why I think it'll be important to like start from the beginning and just like, you know, take it. I don't know. We can help each other out to remember what happened.
Absolutely.
All that
counting
stuff. On it. Yeah. Right. Cool. So we'll just do a little background here before we get into our first tour. We played our first show with Alec on February 2nd, 2014. Fun time, you know. Actually, like that show probably wasn't that great, but it, you know, it was like significant in that way that it was our first show with you. So.
I will. The comments on that show that I have are it was at Starduck Studios. We were living at the Cherry Pit, so essentially Starduck was like right around the corner.
We like walked
our gear down the sidewalk to Starduck.
We weren't gonna drive. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was less than a block.
Yeah, it was just like on the other side of the block.
Yeah. And it was super crazy too because there was a show at the Cherry Pit that same night.
There was, yeah.
And so it was like really weird back and forth. I remember we knew that show wasn't going to be that great, and we didn't care because we just wanted to play a show with the new lineup.
Yeah,
and
we
felt
were
more
like
practice than anything.
Yeah, it was kind of like a practice set. Well, and I guess maybe some more backstory. I know Justin, you were diving into it. Is for those of you who don't know. We lived at a place in Mankato called the Cherry Pit for 2 years. That is where a lot of shows were booked in the basement of the Cherry Pit. From the years probably 2013 to 14 or 2013 to 15. I don't know the correct timeline.
Yeah, it's a Mankato legendary spot. Like to this day, people talk about that place. So
all right.
So we'll probably reference the Cherry Pit a lot. So that's just that. We at one point, Justin never lived there. You spent a lot of time there, but Alec
Justin lived there, didn't he?
Did you?
Only for like a few months when I first moved back.
That's right. Yeah.
It was like 6 months.
In fact, I don't think I paid rent. I think.
Yeah, he wasn't like a permanent, like.
Yeah. I was just crashing there while I was like getting back on my feet and getting a job and stuff. But I mean, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Later, because
that comes up.
It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That year was kind of crazy. Moved a lot that year. So
but at this point, Christian, Justin, Alec, and I lived at the Cherry Pit.
Yeah.
Well, not at this point in time. No.
Oh no, you didn't. It was just me.
No, it was just you living there.
Yeah, because Christian didn't live there either. That's right.
We did not. No, none of us had lived there. But
it was me. It was just me.
Yeah.
It's off to a great start.
Yeah. See, that's why I told you I relied on you guys because I am technically the originator of the Cherry Pit. I don't remember the details at all.
I'll tell you guys right now. I when I went through and like kind of archived all these shows and all these things, like when we were recording Stranger here, that's what I was working on. Right. I like went back and found all the flyers and did all the stuff. And because like I had all that downtime when you guys were recording all your parts because we did drums at the end. And so I felt like I like relived through all of this since then. So I feel like I have like a pretty fresh memory of like what happened. You know, like I remember so much from back then just from like going through and doing all this again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure too, you like it kind of locks in your memory a little bit more because you actually like put it down. Like you went through it again and then you like wrote it down.
I typed it on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, any other backstory you want to give us before we?
Yeah, maybe we'll just say like like at that point, you were going to school at Mankato State, right,
Yep.
John? And
Yep.
Alec too. You were going to school there.
That's how we met.
Christian was going there as well.
Yeah, he was at the. He was still finishing up class. He was either there or what was the community college? South Central.
South Central, yeah.
South Central.
I think he was there when we were first at the Cherry Pit. I think he had one semester at MSU still, and then the next year he went to South Central. I could be completely wrong. I probably
so we're all like, 20, 21 ish.
I'm pretty sure I was like 23.
Yeah, I was.
I know.
21.
I'm always a couple of years older than you guys. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we're already way off the rails.
Yeah, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
We'll find a science. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's because you think things happen and then you just like run with it, and then somebody reins you back in and be like, once
you see like the visual timeline of what's happening in here too, it's like, oh wait, what? Yeah.
All right.
So after our very first show with Alec, 2 weeks later, I think part of the reason we think of that as like a practice show is because 2 weeks later, we played like a scene legendary show in the Twin Cities. So it was like practice for that show. That was on the 21st of February, 2014 in Minneapolis at the Household House, also known as the 828 House. We played with Household, Pierre, Molly's Worst Enemy, Infinite Me, and then us. And it was awesome. Wild awesome. We were late because there was snow.
That was terrible snow.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
Like, I remember we played and John goes, "Thank you guys for weathering the storm," and nobody laughed, but it was funny.
I don't think I made that joke. I think another band made that joke.
I thought it was
maybe I did.
Whoever made the joke, nobody laughed, but I thought it was funny.
Sounds like me.
But I mean, the biggest moment of the night, besides our set, was when Pierre played, and like people know, like the kids know, people go buck wild for Pierre. And at one point, Lucas is like up in the air, and his guitar like
crowd surf
jams into the light bulb, and he gets shocked, and a bunch of people feel the shock.
Yeah. And he shattered a light bulb, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a whole crazy. It was a showstopper, like literally.
That PR set was.
It was wild.
Really good. It was really
I'm
good.
pretty sure it's definitely it's on film on YouTube somewhere too.
Yeah,
you can see it.
I got it. And right before, or like, what am I trying to say? Right after I stopped filming, I think I had like run out of space on my memory card. That's when the moment happened.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get it, and people were like, I could have been the coolest guy. Everybody could have wanted what I had. Nope.
Now no one wants nothing that you have. So.
No, that was pretty much the end of my videography career.
I mean, even before the show, what I remember is that show, like, honestly, probably shouldn't have happened for us. Like, we should not have made that drive. Like, that was some of the worst weather we've ever driven in.
It was horrible.
Like, I remember it being like The Walking Dead, like driving down the highway. There were just cars and semi-trailers strewn off the highway left and right. Yeah. And it was nuts.
Yeah, it was bad.
We passed Christian helping somebody with a flipped vehicle.
Somebody flipped like right in front of him.
Yeah, somebody flipped in front of him and he got out to help them, and we passed them on the freeway, right? Like,
yeah.
That was crazy. But it was like sunny. I remember it being sunny.
It was sunny, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird day.
It was like the day after Crazy Storm.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think I mentioned, at that point, I wasn't in school anymore. I'd gotten kicked out. I was like living in New Orleans with my sister. So it was kind of like limbo period. I was also like, what do I do? What do we do? I'm not in school anymore. My family's pissed. But I was like, I want to tour. I at least want to do that, at least once. So I don't know when we started booking that tour, our March tour. But it would have been around all that like craziness for me. So we were on tour from March 7th through the 14th. Hey, if you like what you're listening to right now, be sure to head over to patreon.com/weatheredmn. Go check out all the exclusive Weathered content living over there. Each month we got a bunch of new things coming at you. So sign up. You can sign up for $1, $5, $10, $20, any of that. Alec, what do you got brewing on the Weathered Patreon this month?
This month I'm going to be making some beer cheese soup, which is my two favorite things, beer and cheese.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Gonna make some soup.
I'm working on a Death Cab for Cutie cover. Christian's got some stuff he's working on. John's got some stuff he's working on. It's going to be a good time. We got a bunch of cool bonus things in the works as well. So head over to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/weatheredmn. Sign up. And thanks for listening.
Let's talk about the tour rig. So at this point, we were touring in my, I'm pretty sure this is a station wagon, my 2004 Mercury Sable station wagon, pulling a trailer, like a decently small trailer. So it was it was a nice trailer for tour, actually.
In that station wagon,
we
could have
pulled anything bigger than that.
It was a good tour trailer for sure.
I remember. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody pulling a trailer in a station wagon. Like, it didn't do my cars any favors. So,
I have a very, very vivid memory of hammering the trailer hitch out of the ice because it got frozen. To the ground
day before we left.
Yeah, well, it was like an hour before.
Yeah, we
left.
Couldn't get it out. Yeah,
we couldn't get it out. We had to chip it out of the ice, and I have like so many Snapchat memories from this specific, like this tour specifically. I have like videos and pictures because I was so stoked to be like, I'm in a band and we're on the road. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like it totally, like, I mean, it was, that's what we were doing, but it was like, I played it up pretty hard. Like, and I was really excited to play it up like that, Yeah. But yeah, we were chipping it out of the ice, and because we were like in a hurry. I remember being rushed. Like we
had to get going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was the first show the Milwaukee show?
First show was Bloomington, Minnesota, Charlie's Siren House.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is why we weren't nearly as prepared as we would be, because we were like, oh, it's Minneapolis. It's like a 45-minute drive. We're fine.
Yeah. Who else was on the bill for that?
So we had Let Yourself Go, Pierre, Ridgewood, and us. So
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Solid. We knocked over the PA.
We didn't knock over the PA. Pierre knocked over the PA.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It was our tour kickoff. So probably nothing more to say about that show.
Yeah, I mean that was when I was
Siren House.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a legendary venue as well. Like a lot of shows have happened there. So
we stayed with our friend Jake and his then girlfriend Allie at their apartment in Dinkytown, and it was super fun.
Yeah,
I think we got Papa John pizza or something like that.
Yeah. I know. I was still playing bass in Ridgewood at that time, so I pulled the double set that night. And
double header.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
good times. I always forget that I was in that band. But I mean, just side note, I spent during that period in my life, I spent a lot of nights at Jake and Allie's apartment. Every time I was in Minneapolis, I'd just crash there. So it was fun. Yeah. Good spot.
So Al, what's our next date after the Bloomington one?
We went to Milwaukee and we played at the Borg Ward, and it was like our second show on a tour with Pierre. Like, it was a super short run with them on our first tour, but we had 2 or 3 dates and we called it a tour with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then we played a few dates after with them. But the Borg Ward is another very well-known venue from Milwaukee. And that was the first time Pierre had ever played Milwaukee, I believe, and the first time we did. And was that show with Township?
That was the first show we'd ever played with Township, and they had I think it was right after they had released Leap Year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was a good show. Like, that place was cool. Yeah, like, a lot of people, everybody was like into it. Pierre Slade, Township was super good, and like, little did we know at that point, like, we would come to do a bunch of tours with Township.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Yeah.
like even like we didn't even talk to them really at that show.
We had kind of barely met them there, right?
Yeah, we like maybe exchanged like pleasantries, like names or whatever, and said what's up and good set and all the usual.
They were clearly way too cool.
Oh yeah, they were
way cooler than we were. And already at that
they
point,
thought they were cool.
At that point, they were the richest band in the world already.
They were the richest
They
band.
were.
Yeah,
Absolutely they were.
we couldn't compete with that. Yeah, every band on that bill was awesome. Like Brain Tacos was wild. Nello was sweet too. They were really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like honestly one of my favorite venues that we ever played. We only got to play there once. Like
yeah, because it shut down.
That's
I
right.
mean, a couple
after,
years
right?
later. Yeah, one or two,
Couple
like
years
two
later.
2 years later. Yeah, Township played their last show. You know, for what that's worth, but it's the last show.
What?
Township played the last show at the Borg Ward.
No, we played their last show.
No. Township.
no.
Yeah.
Not Township's last
Yeah.
show.
Like, what?
Borg Ward's last
Yes,
show.
yeah. Come on, guy.
Played
Yeah.
it.
Well, you know, like a bunch of, I'm sure somebody could look this up on the internet, but like a bunch of like bigger-ish bands have like had come through and played there when they were a lot smaller, you know. So it was that kind of venue.
Yeah, it was a
in
cool
that
like
area.
DIY art space. Like it was an art gallery, and then they would do shows like in the back room, and it was a good space.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Where did we stay that night?
We stayed with Jesse.
Stay with Jesse, probably.
Oh, we did.
We stayed with Justin's brother. Yep.
That's right.
But we didn't meet him or talk to him or anything. We just went in the house and passed out. Am I wrong?
I don't remember any of that, but you might be right. That was like the first of many stays at my brother's place.
I am almost certain we did not meet him. We just walked in and it was super awkward and we didn't know what to do.
One other mention for the show is we got Mexican food before the show down the
Really
street
good.
from
That's right.
the venue.
That's right. Yep.
I had a talk with Lucas about like the universe and acid and stuff. It was super interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Cool.
Riveting.
What's next?
Yeah. Where do we play next?
We did Lansing at the Church of Three Cats.
Oh,
yeah, we played with So Long and Small Parks, which actually they're a really cool band to this day. Small Parks, yeah. And then Cardboard Swords.
great.
Also
band,
legends. Yeah.
Stefo. And then there was some other band that played at the end of the night. They had like a weird impromptu set and they just kind of came out and did it. I don't know what that was.
I might be wrong here. Is Stefo, is that like the comedian?
Was there?
I know at one of our like Michigan shows, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was that one. I think she was like, she was a comedian.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
I remember like not caring that much just because I was like, comedian, but had that happened now, I would have been all about it because
sure.
I remember her stand up was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I you know, like when you play a show and it's a music show, you're kind of just like, oh, stand up, that's weird. Especially for our first tour, you know, that stuff happens more when you're used to it. But
and what's more still is like the basement of the house that we were in was like, the Church of the Three Cats. It had like the Star Trek memorabilia.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they had all that stuff.
All about the place. And they cooked us this really delicious vegan dinner that I don't think any of us ate. I can't recall. But, I just remember the basement was like, it was like you couldn't even stand up. It was like,
it was very small,
right above your head. Like you could.
And I'm pretty sure as we played our set, like Mario Kart was happening on the screen behind us or something.
That's
like
right.
that.
Yes.
Projector screen. That's right. Yep.
And I'm pretty sure the band that played after us was like, I don't remember the name, but it was like the people who lived at the house. They had their musical act played.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so I remember it was So Long. They were called So Long Collective, but they were also So Long Naota, which is like the one guy.
Oh yeah.
So it was like they had like a collective option or the non-collective option.
Yeah. I see. Oh, wow.
And then they had the impromptu set at the end because a bunch of dudes showed up at the house to hang out, and the guy was like, "Let's play." We all slept in John's station wagon that night.
Oh yeah, that night was terrible.
Yeah,
but before we get to the night, I just want to talk the Cardigans, right? Or the Cardboard Swords.
Cardboard
right?
Swords.
Cardboard
Yeah.
Swords,
They have a song called Cardigan, which blew my freaking mind.
Yeah,
like,
I remember hearing that. Like,
that
crazy.
band blew my mind. That was like one of the first nights on tour. I was like, holy crap. Never heard of them before.
Were super cool.
And we got to talk to Ty, the guy in the band, a bunch, and he was super nice.
Cool guy.
It was just, it was amazing. They were really, really good. I had never heard of them, didn't know what to expect, and blew my mind. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and they kind of blew up a couple of years later with that song.
When they finally like put out music and stuff. So it's just kind of interesting, like looking back on that. But the first of many shows in Michigan, like amongst that like scene of bands, pretty cool. So that night we went to a Walmart parking lot and we slept in the station wagon. We did, but we only did it after going to, if you guys remember, the Fleetwood Diner or the Fleet.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that?
Oh,
yeah, we did. It was
we
great.
went to and the waitress was super kind. She was super funny, and she was like, "Oh, you guys want a cup of coffee?" She was like saying it all weird and joking with us. I don't know.
That place was great.
That's a weird detail to remember, but I remember it.
Well, anybody,
the true Lansing experience, right?
Yeah,
everybody that like we asked to go to where we should go to eat like late at night. Go to Fleetwood Diner. So we went, and it was great.
And it was. I think it made that night a lot easier.
Well, because I don't think we mentioned this. Spencer was on that tour.
That's right. Yeah.
So we were 5 deep in the station wagon. So just imagine trying to sleep in that with 5 people. Like the back seat's laid down. So I mean, you got kind of straight.
That's right.
But it's like 3 people packed in, like laying row by row, and then 2 people in the front seat, just like maybe leaning their chairs back a little bit. But
I think it was John, Spencer, and then myself in the back, and we were just sardines, kind of spooning against each other.
And it was cold. Like it was.
Yeah.
Cold.
It was cold. It was February in Michigan.
Yeah.
March. Excuse me. Yeah.
Not really any better. Like March.
So
February.
I mean, we probably didn't get any like worthwhile sleep that night for sure.
Nope.
No.
What was the next show?
That would have been Cleveland. So we definitely hit a pothole and we got a flat tire on the way to Cleveland.
Really?
Like 2 days had passed before our next show.
Actually, so we hit the pothole. I think we were going to Cleveland, but we hit a pothole on the way into Michigan. Like we hit it right before we met with my parents. We met them at like Bob Evans or something.
Bob Evans.
Oh yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Compared to Fleetwood Diner. Like,
ugh. But we hit a pothole. We changed the tire.
We had to change the tire, and then we took it to a salvage yard, and they gave us a new one. I remember looking at it, and it was like a circle, but then there was like just a little piece cut out. It was cut like a spade.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was actually really a very good experience at the salvage. Like it was easy. We just went in.
Yeah.
Got the tire.
They were like, you got to get rid of it. Yep.
And then we bought a new one or salvage one for cheap, and
I have a very specific and sort of favorite memory of waiting for that tire to get fixed. And it was me, Spencer, Christian, possibly both of you guys sitting in the car. And I was reading the lyrics to an Attila song, but I was reading them like I was Morgan Freeman, and I wouldn't remember like any of the lyrics. I couldn't do it now. But I remember reading them in like a really calm and pleasant voice, but it was like just this filth. It was just horrible, vile words. Yeah. And and they were like, it was just fun, because we were so bored. We were there for like 3 or 4 hours. Like we're dog tired, like, from the night before. Right.
And because we didn't sleep really. And then we drove a bunch. Well, and on a good note too about this time, I mean, was it 2014? I guess they're social media, but at that point we weren't super on our phones all the time. At least So like we still got bored and would just like interact with each other and do stupid stuff.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the next night is Cleveland. So we just went straight to your parents, or
probably, yeah.
I'm sure we stayed at your parents'. I know for certain I have a panoramic picture of us in your old bedroom, of Justin's old bedroom. and we're all sitting there, and Spencer is mooning the camera.
Mm.
And
you have that picture?
I have that. I'm sure I have it. I'm certain I have it.
That's awesome.
I should pass it around. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, hey, backtrack here too. We also have one of my favorite pictures of the 5 of us with Spencer at the Church of the Three Cats, and it's like this really awesome Polaroid.
Oh yeah,
really
I remember that.
It's like it's a Polaroid-esque picture. I think it got developed, but
it's a disposable.
A disposable, yeah. And it's the 5 of us, and we're children, and we're all sitting on the couch, and it's just really nice.
If somebody can find that, I'd be interested in seeing it.
Oh yeah,
I'm certain. Got it. Yeah, we all have it.
Oh,
Justin gave it to all of us. I know I have it on my bulletin board as we speak.
I'm not gonna take this over there.
Yeah, don't.
It's like one of my favorite pictures of all time. Like,
incredible
memory for me.
We have so many very specific memories from this tour, and I think it goes all the way. I think it just speaks so much to like what we've done after that. Like right at the beginning, it was that
special.
Yeah, it really.
Well, I think it speaks to our friendship too. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, Justin and I had been friends for a while. Alec and I got to know each other and become friends like while going to school. And then, Christian, kind of same thing. And then like, this was like kind of the beginning of, I mean, we were friends as we were, while we actually joined the band and stuff, but this is like the beginning of the real like bonding friendship, the first tour and all that stuff. And we had Spencer along with us too. So like,
yeah. Well, and I live with Spencer now. Like he's upstairs as we speak.
And I'm married to his cousin.
Yeah, exactly. Like what a wild time to think back on. Yeah. That's cool. Jeepers.
So was it Thunderdome?
Yeah, Cleveland? The Thunderdome is the next show. We got
shout out Reed.
Yeah, shout out Reed.
Yep. We played Reed's house called the Thunderdome. It was with Reed's band. I Love You, I Know, The Heel, Red Bear, and us. What are your thoughts, Alec?
So we didn't know this until after the show had started, but there was a very strict no moshing rule. And anybody that moshed was sternly advised against it.
Well,
do you guys
Reed's
remember
mom
that?
Was there, right?
Yeah. She really didn't like it. She got really upset, and she was watching. And then we met a couple of photographer friends, Chelsea Gresh and Paige Farrow at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think
both doing really cool photography things to this day.
So. Find them on Instagram, I suppose, right?
And Paige took a bunch of photos of us playing that night, and they're like really cool photos. So.
The pictures she got of me playing the drums that night, I remember they're still some of my favorites to this day. And I would stare at them because I was like, this is like the first time I've ever been on tour, and this is so cool. It felt so awesome. To have this awesome picture of myself.
Yeah, they were cool.
Well,
I think for years after that too, I would use those photos for like promotional stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, one of them was like my profile photo for a long time. Mm-hmm. But we met the like I Love You, I Know. So we met Matt and Kyle and Reed. That Justin had known them, but we never met them before.
Well, so Matt and I were friends in middle school. I only went to that school for a year, but I met him, and like I think that's how we got hooked up with that show. Mm-hmm. Was because like we were looking for shows, and I was like, I do know people. Let me just poke around.
And he happened to be in a band. Yeah,
he happened to be in a band that was in like similar vein as us ish,
Yeah.
So it, worked out really well, and those guys became like really good friends of ours, which I'm sure we'll talk about more. In the next episode.
We absolutely will, because our next tour is with them, right?
I Love You.
Yeah. I remember discussing it outside the house that night. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's right. From that show, I mean, it was a really good show. There were a lot of people there.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people, because like Reed at that point, I think he was still in high school.
Maybe.
So he just invited all of his high school friends. So it was like a ton of kids at this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next is
we had,
Mankato.
Yeah, we had like 2 days off, so I don't know if
we drove home basically. We got caught. We drove back, but there was a snowstorm.
Oh,
that's right. There was a snowstorm,
and we stayed at the hotel.
That's
and
right.
We were swimming.
Well, we stayed at 2 hotels, if I'm not mistaken. So we I remember
living large,
dude. I remember driving back from Cleveland, and it was like we're trying to get out of town. We tried to wait the storm, but we were like, we can't wait anymore. We got to get going, and so we're leaving. And I remember like breaking the storm, and it was like just like this clear sky, and it was open freeways, and it was like it never even happened. And so we're barreling down the freeway, and we're coming through Chicago trying to find people to stay with. And nobody's working out. It's not happening.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We pulled into this shady, seedy Motel 6 on like the east side of Chicago, and we stayed there. And it was like Christian and Spencer were like wrestling in the back.
Oh yeah, I remember like, that was a fun night. Yeah,
there was like cheese whiz all over the place. Like, what were they doing? I don't know. I have a video of it. I'm sure of it.
It wasn't cheese whiz. No.
It was a hospital trip. Jeez. No.
What?
No, if it wasn't, no, it's not important. Anyway, but yeah. So then we had some sleep, and then we continued on. But we went and got pizza the next day. We went and spent the day in Chicago.
Yep, yeah, we did.
Right?
Yeah.
We went thrifting.
That's right.
And I got
pizza. Went to a music store.
I remember.
Oh, I got a tattoo.
Yeah, Justin got a tattoo. Show him.
Penamento.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not going to show the thing that's on top of that tattoo because it's a self-done stick and poke.
Nice.
That I'm not proud of.
What, Alec? What were you hell bent on finding?
I was hell bent on finding a denim shirt. I don't know why.
Yeah, I wanted
remember that denim shirt. I wanted it so badly, and I never even wore it. I never wore it.
Well, then after we spent the day in Chicago, we stayed at like a lodge, like hotel in Alaska, Wisconsin.
That's right.
Stony Creek Inn, right?
Stony Creek Inn.
Had a blast.
We did.
Good.
We went swimming, and
there was a GoPro.
That's right.
Involved. I made a little video with it in the pool. It was good.
We ate bananas in our hotel room.
Yep.
Bananas. All right. So our last day of that tour was.
Oh, it was in Mankato at the Cherry Pit, and we played with Pierre, and then we played with Infinite Me, but it was when it was like pre Dino. Yeah, Corey.
Yeah,
Corey was still in the band. Post. What am I? Post metalcore.
Yeah, they were still like heavy. They were still definitely like heavy metalcore-y.
They had like a huge lineup change in like the years to come. But then Goodnight Gorillas was there, which was really cool because like that's like super early Goodnight Gorillas too.
They're great band.
Yeah, great band. And then the Outpulse, which would soon be Grandma. Yeah. And it was our homecoming show. I remember it was really cool. It was like one of the better shows at the Pit for sure, right?
Yeah, to date, yeah. Because the Pit had kind of just started that fall, the fall previous when I moved in.
That's right.
Yeah. It was a good lineup too. Like you had some solid locals and some solid like Minneapolis bands. So it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good show. Yeah. I mean, if we want to talk a little bit about contacts and stuff. Most of those things is because I was doing booking at the Cherry Pit. So I had kind of amassed a little bit of contacts through that. And then just because I lived in Michigan, I knew some people. So I had a little bit of, people I knew I could ask for other contacts there. And then Justin, you had the Ohio one, but so if I'm thinking right, we played Bloomington, Bloomington, Minnesota. Oh, that was Charlie Siren. Yeah. So I mean that contact is basically just Minneapolis music scene and having booked shows and gone to shows, just knowing people. Mm-hmm. And then Borg Ward. How did we get that show?
Did Pierre book it?
No, I booked it.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was because I had booked the one before that we played in Milwaukee, and I do think I hit the same guy up and he sent us that way or got us on that show. Yeah. And then Michigan, I mean, I'm from there, so I just asked a few friends, and actually a band called Little American Champ, which was a great band, not around for very long. They booked that show at the house. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Just kind of, through people I knew, or, I just like kind of Facebook message, like Facebook Messenger was how I booked tours and still book tours.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I feel like that's like the early days of like the networking.
Yeah. It's like laying the groundwork. Yeah. Cause I mean, there's still people from all those dates that obviously the township connection, Minneapolis. Yeah. And then even in Michigan, those people that we've kept in contact with or run into on the road or what have you, or book shows or help book shows, in the past. In the future going forward too. So,
yeah. I feel like that tour was important just because like we talk about it being special and like, feeling camaraderie and having enough good shows and good moments where we came back wanting to book another tour right away. We all felt from the get-go like we want to keep doing this. This was awesome, even though we had to sleep in the car in the middle of winter, and even though like, all the shows were pretty good.
Yeah. Turnout wise, like on average was really good considering some of the tours we've been on.
Yeah.
And
some of the shows we've played. Say.
Monetarily, it probably, we probably broke even or, if that, like
I remember paying out of pocket for gas and for food. Like,
food. Yeah. Yeah. At that point we were all buying our food for sure.
At food, we all knew about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it wasn't like anything like, oh, we could do this and make money. It was more like we loved doing it and we needed to figure out, like, I think we learned a lot of things. We'd never been on like this long of a tour before. Like that, like I said, I think that tour we learned a lot, but I think the biggest thing we learned is that we liked to tour together. Like we had a ton of fun just hanging out, playing music, and regardless of the outcome, we wanted to do it more.
Yeah.
I know.
So, yeah.
It's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up what we're talking about, I did want to say, like, there was one more show that happens here, and it's kind of a noteworthy show because it's the last show that we played before Justin took a stint living in Milwaukee, like right after
Cleveland.
this tour.
Cleveland.
Milwaukee, yeah. Cleveland, excuse
Milwaukee
me.
on the brain.
Yeah.
Idiot.
You can say it. I'll never forget it. It's fine. I'll never forget it, but it'll be fine. It's all right.
You'll get over it.
Yeah, I won't get over it, but whatever.
So like a week after that last show of that tour on the 22nd, a day before my 21st birthday.
That's right.
In fact.
That's right. I remember your 21st birthday very well.
I'm glad someone does.
Hey!
But yeah, we played in Morris, Minnesota at the U of M in Morris. Yeah. We had played there before. So we were kind of used to like getting booked by that college. Like anytime they hit you up to play, you always did because they paid a lot.
Yeah.
Money
talks, baby.
Money talks.
No. Well, and like, Ross booked it and we knew Troy, and so we had some friends there, and like it was just fun to go hang out.
The kids bought merch.
Oh
yeah.
Like people, the shows were good. The people that went to the shows were super supportive.
Yeah.
Bought merch and had a good time.
There was like free food, I remember.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like there was like a boatload of free food.
Yep.
We met a couple people there who are now in a band that's on Run for Cover Records.
Yep.
Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Will. And Jonas.
Will Jonas, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So at the U of M, we played with Austin Payne, who's actually like he's a bigger folky dude now. Like I see his Facebook posts all the time. Shinobi Ninja from New York.
Yep. That was a cool
also
set.
kind of a big deal. One of their stickers appears in the movie Uncut Gems.
Oh, cool.
Kind of cool. But they were like a Black Eyed Peas / Linkin Park type of thing. Cuckoo Kangaroo, which is the biggest band we've ever played with.
Probably, yes.
Aside from Township.
For fans of the Wiggles and Teletubbies. I think that's it that we played with there.
Yeah. And then we hung out.
I don't know if they're open.
Yeah, and then we hung out.
Yeah, we hung out. It was good. It was like the end, but it was also like we all agreed that it was like the beginning for us too. So
yeah.